Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday. With it being Friday, that means it's time for another weekly beauty chit chat. And if you're new around here, this video goes up every Friday. It's a series I've done on my channel here for a very long time, and it's basically just an opportunity for me to chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was personally loving or obsessing about over the course of the last week. Per usual, I have a fun little lineup from this past week, and as always, I will list and link everything in the description box right below this video here. If you'd like to know where to purchase these items, read up other people's reviews, look at in-depth ingredient information, you know, all that jazz, check out the description box. It's usually a plethora of information. Anyway, like I said, hope you had a good week. My week was pretty good. It was very busy. It was actually spring break here in Oregon, so I don't actually have a ton of time to film this video right now because I have to go get Stella from a volleyball camp that I signed her up for in about an hour and a half. So I thought I'd try to get this video done before hitting the road. Let's go ahead and start where we usually do, which is chatting about perfume. I have three that I want to mention from this past week. We're gonna get started with this one right here. This is Henry Rose Queens and Monsters. I actually received this little travel atomizer from my friend Amber. We met up for lunch a couple weeks ago and exchanged a few prizes, and she gifted me this because she thought I would really like it, and Amber was spot on. I love this. But before I talk a little bit more about this, just a quick side note. Amber actually texted me yesterday and let me know that her beloved mini schnauzer Sherman had super suddenly passed away, and it really breaks my heart for her because she also lost her other miniature schnauzer within the last year as well. So it's just a lot, and I hate to see my friends sad like this. It breaks my heart for her. She had such a love for both of these dogs. Amber and I really bond over our love of dogs and animals in general. You know, when Sophie passed away, you know, I talked to her a lot about how I dealt with Mr. Kong's loss, and you know, it's just, I hate that she's having to deal with this again. She's such a wonderful and kind and caring person, and it just breaks my heart for her. So if you could just take a moment and leave maybe a couple of words of encouragement for Amber in the comments down below. She watches my videos, so I hope that she will see them, and hopefully it just, you know, makes her feel a little bit better knowing there are other people out there who maybe have experienced the same thing and, you know, just want to show a little bit of compassion for someone who is in, you know, a pretty tough boat right now. So yeah, I'm so sorry, Amber. It broke my heart when I got that message from her because it was really out of the blue. So anyway, I feel like that was kind of a hard left turn there, but I couldn't like not say anything in the video. So yeah, I'm really sorry, Amber. So thank you though for gifting me this absolutely beautiful fragrance. I have fallen in love with it. This is a really stunning, sophisticated, just unique, modern scent. I'll have the notes for this going across the screen, but you can also check out, like I said, my in-depth review that I did. I just really enjoy how this one wears on my skin. It's so interesting because it's one of those fragrances that smells like one thing in the bottle and it smells completely different after I first apply it to my skin. And then the dry down is even more different from those other two experiences until I get, you know, to kind of the final product, if you will, of this, you know, wearing on my skin for a little bit and developing into the fragrance that it's going to be for me. This is, I think, one of the first times where I've had a perfume take me on such a journey. I just really think this is unique. I personally have found the lasting power of Queens and Monsters to be incredibly good on me. But I will say there are a lot of people who, when I put my review up from this, said that they find that Henry Rose fragrances don't wear a super long time on their skin. This one wears a really long time on me, so I don't know what's happening there, but maybe try Queens and Monsters if you haven't. This is gorgeous, you guys. It's also a fantastic option for a year-round fragrance. This is not seasonally specific in any kind of way, not at all. Now the next one, very seasonally specific for sure. This is Mancera Holidays. I got the big bottle here, obviously. So the weather this week during spring break here in Oregon, it was very Oregon. We had a day where we were actually supposed to receive tornadoes, which we never get, especially here in Portland. It was really like a strange situation. The tornadoes never materialized that day, but it got to be 88 degrees. You guys, it was so hot. Anyway, that morning I decided to actually put on Mancera Holidays before heading out to work. And I'm glad I did, because man, was this a great option for an 88-degree day. Holidays is a beautiful aquatic beachy coconut. If you've never tried this, holy cannoli, you must. Yes, if you love an aquatic beachy coconut, you got to give this one the old college try. I've already formally reviewed it. I cannot get enough of it. I'm really glad that I decided to just go ahead and get the big mama jama of it, because I would absolutely douse myself in this. I try not to though, because it's potent. One, it's very potent, and two, it's very concentrated. I personally have found the two Mancera fragrances that I own this, and then I think it's Royal Vanilla. I don't remember. I'll have it going somewhere here. It'll be somewhere, but that's the other fragrance that I own from Mancera. And I find them both to be very intense when it comes to the projection and the wear time. You can almost see, and I don't think this is going to come off on camera, but when you kind of swirl these Mancera fragrances around, you can almost see the oils, the fragrance oils like shimmering on the inside. These are incredibly long wearing, to the point where I don't even feel like a lot of times I need to necessarily moisturize my skin before applying my fragrance. If you struggle with fragrances not sticking to your skin, try a unfragranced moisturizer prior to applying your fragrance. Dry skin really doesn't hold on to fragrance super well. But I think because of the sheer amount of oils that are in these Mancera perfumes, they are potent. I don't even think you need to moisturize. So this might be worth checking out if you typically struggle with fragrances fading super fast on your skin. This fragrance, especially for the summertime, I think is a must try for sure. And then the last one that I want to mention is, I feel like I might actually, I'm gonna be done with this here somewhat soon. So I'm gonna try to finish this during the month of April. This is Nest Golden Nectar. Now, when I first bought this, I liked it, but it didn't draw me in the way that I thought it initially would, you know, to the where I would fall in love with it instantly. The interesting thing is that now that I've actually owned this for a little while, when I reach for it periodically, I really like this a heck of a lot more now than even when I first bought it. Again, I'll have the notes going across the screen. It's a very perfumey, but not overwhelming perfumey fragrance. It's really unique. It's got a lot of depth to it. Has some beautiful floral aspects, and also a nice kind of muskiness that runs throughout it. It's very interesting. If you happen to pop into your local Sephora this weekend for whatever reason, check out the Nest fragrances and especially check out the Golden Nectar. This is really good. And while I didn't think initially that I would want the full size of it, now that I'm at the point where I'm starting to get to the end of it, I kind of feel like I might need another one. Maybe I won't buy the full size again. Maybe I'll buy another travel size, but I definitely want to keep this around in my collection. It's very unique, very interesting. Let's dig into some hair care next. First thing I want to mention is my beloved Alterna Caviar Anti-Aging Replenishing Moisture CC Cream 10-in-1 Complete Correction Leave-In. This guy right here. I have actually been using this for years. The very, very first time that I tried this was many, many years ago when Sephora had this as a 100-point perk. And at that time, I had a ton. I'm talking an actual ton of Sephora points. This was before, you know, you could do like the $10 off, or, you know, if you're lucky enough to use your points to catch one of their like $100 gift certificates that you can purchase with your points. This was long before that. And so I just had all of these accumulated points, and they had this as a 100-point perk. And I got one, got home, washed and dried my hair the next morning with this, immediately fell in love. And you better believe that I went back to Sephora, and I think I probably bought something else to not feel like a total weirdo about it. But I got through the line, and, you know, they were like, do you want to use your points for anything? You have a ton of points. I was like, how many of one thing can I get with my points? Like, is there a limit? Can I only get 3 of one thing for like 300 points, you know? And she was like, you can get whatever you want. Like, you can use all your points on just one thing. We've got a lot of samples, so what do you want? And I was like, I will take like 12 samples of this. I used so many points, and then I just kept using them and using them and using all these samples. And by the time that I reached the end of the samples, I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. I need to buy the full size. And all these years later, I'm still buying this. You guys, this is fantastic. So this is one of those multi-benefit treatments, if you will, but it's essentially a leave-in. It moisturizes your hair, it helps it to shine, it provides smoothness, it provides softness, it provides UV protection, it provides manageability, strength, it's anti-breakage protection. There's heat protection, which I would argue is probably the most important part. And then it also provides some light hold. This is just a fabulous, fabulous product. I love the consistency of it. It doesn't weigh my hair down. It smells like $1,000,000 and really protects my hair. Makes it so soft, makes it shiny. Like, look at this. This is gray hair that's shiny. It can happen. I mean, you gotta like work at it. It's not naturally this way, I'll tell you that. I definitely use a number of products to really keep my gray hair in good shape. And this is definitely one of those staples in my routine. I will not be without this. I love it. Another product that I just went back to, I was trying really hard to not buy any hair care this past month, but I ended up receiving an email that Bumble Bumble was having either a 20 or 25% off sale on their website. And I've really been missing this conditioner. This is one of my favorite products from Bumble Bumble. This is their super rich conditioner. They say this is a creamy conditioner with enough moisture for everyone and every day. They're not kidding. You guys, this is fabulous. Again, look at my fine thin hair. Like, I have like, what, 57 strands of hair. I don't have a ton of hair, but this has never weighed my hair down. And it smells so good. Oh my gosh, the fragrance here, it's probably one of my favorite smells when it comes to hair care products. But I think the key point here is that this is incredibly hydrating, doesn't weigh my hair down, it rinses out very clean, and it just leaves my hair so soft, so shiny, and smelling like $1,000,000. So usually when I buy this, I'll just buy the liter of it. If you just want to give this a try, you don't have to start with the big Mama Jama. They do have, I think, like an 8.5 ounce size. It's a really fantastic conditioner. I didn't get the shampoo that I normally purchase with it because I still have plenty of shampoo in the shower, but I actually personally go through conditioner a lot faster than I do shampoo. So yeah. Also, this was still another week of me washing my hair every other day, which is a totally new thing for me. If you missed last week's weekly beauty chit chat, I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's a thing. When I started HRT, it absolutely slowed down my oil production. Oh my gosh, what a friggin' difference. I have been oily since I was like 10 years old, and I am 46. It has been the most frustrating thing to deal with throughout my teenage years, my 20s, my 30s, and honestly, the vast majority of my 40s here. It is a nightmare to have super, super oily skin, but just about, 4 months on HRT now, and I no longer have an oily face, and I no longer have an oily scalp, and I'm here for it. So this is very exciting. So yeah, I'm not even using this necessarily every day. I think I'm gonna save a decent amount of money on hair products with this new little thing of mine. So I'm joining the rest of you. I said in last week's video that I used to get a ton of crap from people who were like, oh, you just need to like train your hair. You cannot train an oily scalp. I'm sorry, you cannot. And I just did not like walking around with really oily roots. Like, there was not enough dry shampoo in the land to absorb that amount of oil. It was just better for me to wash and dry my hair every day. And I don't necessarily miss doing that, but it is a lot faster. It's definitely faster getting ready in the morning if you just have to, you know, kind of brush through things and use just a little tiny bit of dry shampoo to kind of zhuzh things up. I love it. This is great. You guys are so lucky who have had this experience your entire life. All right, let's move on to skincare. First thing I want to mention is the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Sunfit Sun Cream Light SPF 30. I reviewed this earlier this week. You guys, this is fabulous. This is such a fabulous, inexpensive zinc oxide SPF. It wears like a dream on my skin. Even when I was oily, the very best type of SPF for my skin was always zinc oxide. It provides a good amount of protection, and it just was a better fit with my oily skin. Now that my skin isn't quite as oily, I still like zinc oxide. It's probably what I'll stick with, but yeah, anyway, this is fantastic. A lot of you in that video were saying to try this one with the blue cap. I have it. I am trying it. I really like it. I don't know that I could pick between the two. There are definitely different maybe reasons for me to use each of these. This is a great everyday option. This Hylucica Sunfit Sun Serum SPF 50 is obviously a much higher SPF. So this will be something that I'll probably use a little bit more in the summer once wedding season starts. I mean, I'm gonna be outside quite a bit, and I'm gonna need good protection. I'll also be wearing my hat because my melasma does not give a crap if I'm wearing SPF or not. It always flares up under the sun. So I think this will provide some pretty good protection, and combine this with my giant wide brim hat. I think I'm gonna have a burn-free summer, at least on my face. So yeah, but these Skin 1004 SPFs are fabulous. They are fabulous. Okay, the next item I want to mention, I actually just shared in my MD's video yesterday. This is the CosRx, the Niacinamide 15 Serum. I finished my first bottle of it. You guys, I love this stuff. Now, I do have one backup of the Paula's Choice 10% niacinamide, and I'm gonna go ahead and use that up. I'm not gonna let it go to waste, But when I go to repurchase my niacinamide in the future, I think I'm actually gonna go with this 15% concentration. You guys know how I have felt over the years about the Paula's Choice Clinical 20% niacinamide. That was such a game changer for me, but I really have found that this 15% helps me maintain like the progress that the 20% has gotten me in terms of how much smaller and how much more refined my pores look. The best ingredient that I have ever found to reduce the look of my pores, it actually wasn't tretinoin, it was niacinamide, you guys. I still use my tretinoin, I love it, but this is the game changer ingredient, I feel like, at least for me, when it comes to enlarged pores. And I love the fact that this is helping to maintain all of the progress I've made so far. And it's way less expensive by like half compared to the Paula's Choice. So I'm gonna repurchase this, but I'm gonna go back, finish that Paula's Choice 10% niacinamide. I'm sure the 10% niacinamide is probably fine too, but like I said, the Paula's Choice it's more expensive. So if I can save a little bit of money on niacinamide, I will definitely do it. And I just love the feel of this particular serum. It feels great on the skin. So definitely highly recommend checking this one out. If you're in the market for a new niacinamide, maybe you've been using 10% for a really long time and you feel like you've kind of plateaued with it, try the 15% from CosRx. That's a great way to go. Or if you really want to like make a serious impact on your pores, the Clinical 20% from Paula's Choice, I'll also link that one down below. I think that was a really great product. I loved it. Anyway, let's move on to makeup, which is the last thing we're discussing today. I'm gonna start with the eyeshadow stuff. It's not much different from last week. I still was using these all week long. This is the ColourPop That's Taupe palette. This is probably my favorite, most affordable palette in my collection. This is just a really great lineup of some neutrals. The mattes are so blendable. Crazy pigmentation too for the price point. The shimmers I think are okay. I think they wear pretty nicely, but for me, it's the matte formulation from ColourPop that I think is really kind of special. So if you're looking for a great neutral summertime palette, you should check this one out if you haven't. I really like it a lot. Definitely but it makes me want to try a few more palettes from ColourPop. Right now, this is the only one that I have. Stella actually really likes ColourPop eyeshadow palettes. I have picked Stella up a couple of these ColourPop palettes. I bought her the big one of I think it was called the Stone Fox or something for Christmas. And she looks really great in like that color palette. And Stella's coloring, if you're new, she's my 13-year-old daughter. Hers is very similar to mine, so I'm kind of tempted to buy my own Stone Fox palette. I think it might be worth it. But anyway, love that particular palette there. And then the other one, I was still using this one from Laura Mercier. I can't even link this. This is long discontinued. It's the Pro Artist Palette for eyes. But I've always loved this particular color story. It's a little powdery, but I do really like pretty much every single color that's in here. I have worn all of these shades at some point. Like they're super wearable. If you still have this palette in your collection, you should bust it out. Maybe disinfect it if you haven't used it in a while, but you should definitely bust it out. This is a great palette. This is really lovely. I like this a lot. Okay, in terms of blush this week, I was using a slightly brighter color than I normally do. Still sticking with Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Blush in Sublime Flush. This is quite bright in terms of the pinkiness here, but I still think it looks super wearable on my skin. I have to be careful with this one. You can definitely over apply. Don't go ham, you don't need to. And I just love that lit from within glow that the Hourglass blushes give me. These by far are, I think, some of my favorite blushes ever. These and the Marc Jacobs, what were they called? Airbrush? What were these called? Air blushes. Yeah, these guys here. Do you remember these? By the way, Marc Jacobs, where's your makeup? Marc Jacobs, if you're not familiar, is returning with Marc Jacobs Beauty this year at some point. I don't know when. I should look into that because, man, do I miss that brand. They had some great stuff. Man, I'm using this a lot. Look, this palette is finally starting to kind of fall apart on me here. The faux leather is starting to peel. She's old, it's fine. Okay, last thing, lip products. This was my lip combo of the week. This is the City Beauty City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss in clear, not terribly exciting, but I love this particular gloss. I will say it is very thick. It's a thicker gloss. Some people don't like that. I either like a really thick gloss or I like a really thin gloss. I will even take anything in between. I'm not super picky when it comes to glosses, but this one does stay put, I will say, a lot longer than a lot of my other glosses in my collection. So this might be worth a try if you really want your lip gloss to stick around. There's lots of really great color options available. And I think there's actually a BOGO sale happening with the City Beauty plumping lip glosses right now. So I'll have the information down below. And then my actual lipstick has been the Modern Classic Cream Lipstick in Novel Neutral from Laura Geller, old Laura Geller. I love this lady. Her powder foundation is my go-to foundation of choice. I also like a lot of her other makeup products. I really think she has nice lip products. So this is the Novel Neutral. If this color doesn't float your boat, she has obviously other colors available. There's a really pretty pink that I want to try, so I need to pick up that one next. But yeah, this is what I have on my lips. It's a really, really neutral nude. And I already have quite a bit on my lips, so I'm trying not to overdo it here, but it's a really pretty color. And I love pairing this with just this clear gloss to add maybe a little bit more shine to it. Yeah, that's a great gloss for shine for sure. So this combo right here was a lip combo of the week, and it really stayed put well on my lips. Even when I was at work, I was doing a lot of organizing at work this week and moving around quite a bit, and it just stayed put. It was great. Anyway, you guys, that's everything that I have for you from this past week. Let me know what you are loving in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out the description box for all of the information about these products here. If you're new, please subscribe if you found this video helpful or entertaining. Give it a big fat thumbs up. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.